Hi Gallardo, welcome to art. So today we're talking about Fauvism, and one of the artists that was known for Fauvism was Henri Matisse and Andre Duran, and they loved color, so they made a lot of things that looked very bright and colorful, and on the slides I've shown you examples of their work. They went outside the box. If the tree was supposed to be green, they painted it pink. If the house was supposed to be brown, they painted it yellow. I mean, they just went out on a limb and used whatever color made them feel good instead of whatever color it was supposed to be. Faux is kind of another word for fake. So in French it means the great beast. And so they used a lot of color, and it was kind of fake because it wasn't the color it was supposed to be, right? Well, Henri Matisse, after he got sick with a stomach cancer, he was confined to a wheelchair and he couldn't paint anymore. And so he started making art with his scissors. And what was fun about Henri Matisse is that he could cut anything with his scissors. So today you have to have scissors, a glue stick, and some colored paper to do this project. It's fun to use your scissors in many different ways because Henri Matisse, when he made his collage work, he used geometric shapes, and I'm going to show you some, and he used organic shapes. Geometric shapes are shapes that are squares, circles, triangles, all those shapes that we learn about in kindergarten and first grade. Those are our geometric shapes. But our organic shapes are curvy, flowy lines, like this little dripping green shape here, or this little comb. This one here is supposed to be like a little blob. Those are organic shapes. They're more natural, like the shape of a leaf maybe. They're a little bit more natural. They've got rounded, curly edges and things like that. So we're going to talk about cutting some stuff out like that. When you use your scissors, you have to either turn the paper or turn the scissors in order to get different shapes. So if you want a geometric edge, like a zigzag, then you're going to move your scissors when you're cutting the paper, yes? And that's how you get that edge. But if you want a curly edge, you have to move the paper while you're closing the blade. And then you open it, turn and close, turn and close. And that's how you get different edges with your scissors, okay? So what we're going to do today is we're going to make a collage. So I took a few kind of solid sheets of paper, and I'm going to take my glue stick and I'm going to glue those on the paper, just sort of random, like that. On this one, I did a yellow strip, a purple strip, and then I cut the orange one in half, and I stuck that on as my background. Can you see that? That will give you a little bit of a background. So I'm going to take my glue stick and get it right up against the edges and stick my three basic background pieces on the paper. So you've got to make sure and get it on the edges, and I'm going to even overlap a couple of them, I think, so that it's more interesting. Okay? So I'm going to come in here and I'm just going to randomly glue those on and make sure they're nice and flat. I got a little bit of extra glue, but that's okay. I'll just put it up under an edge. Then I'm going to cut some shapes for my paper. So I'm going to get another color that I don't have. And I had cut out some squares earlier, just some little squares, because I'm going to use those too. So now those are some geometric shapes I'm going to use. My geometric shapes are my background pieces and my little squares for sure. Now I'm going to cut out some organic pieces. Okay, so for my organic pieces, maybe I'm going to cut out something kind of silly that maybe even looks like a seahorse. So as I close my blade, I have to turn the paper. Do you see how I'm doing that? And when I turn the paper, it makes a rounded edge. And that's how I get an organic shape. But you can also use your background pieces. Here's some stuff that I cut out earlier. I cut this stuff out earlier. And you can come back and cut some different edges, and you can use those pieces too, your background, for background pieces, okay? And then I'm just going to lay them out on my paper in an arrangement that I like, and then eventually I'll glue them all down. So I'm going to just cut out a bunch of different shapes. They can be geometric, all of them. You don't have to do organic shapes. I just think they're more interesting. So I'm going to come back here again, and I'm going to come and I'm going to turn my paper while I close the blade, turn, and then I open my blade, turn some more. And you just keep doing this. You turn the paper as you close the blade, and you can get all kinds of fun shapes that you can use on your collage, like Henri Matisse did. Then when you get them all out and you arrange them on the paper the way that you like them, then you glue them down, and boom, you have a collage. I think for the last one, maybe I'll cut out a spiral. What do you think? How about an orange? What's fun about a spiral is first you have to start with kind of a circle. So I'm going to just cut a circle. And I'm doing it by turning the paper around and around while I am cutting with my blade, right? So I'm going to put my blade in here. And what's fun about a spiral is you got to kind of keep your edges really fat. Do you see how fat they are? It's almost like a curl. Now I'm going to come back out. I'm going to turn around and I'm going to come back out of my spiral. And then I will really, when I get through, have two spirals. So I'm going to cut on my way out. So I got to cut my way in, and then I got to turn around and cut my way out. And once I cut my way out, look, I have two little spirals, and I'm going to glue that down right there. So maybe I'm going to put this over here and this over here and go, ooh, I like the way that looks. And when I get all the way finished, I'm going to glue it down. And then I'll have a collage. So I want you to take some shapes, start with some background pieces, big pieces that you can have some background color, and then cut out some shapes, whatever they are, whatever your shapes are. Take your glue stick and glue them down. But when you put them down, you've got to make sure to get your glue stick on the edges of all your little pieces so that they don't stick up. And then you too can make a collage like Henri Matisse. All right, until next time, so long. Bye, Cardinals.